Hello and welcome to this exclusive video for those that subscribe to ask about this dashboard. So this dashboard I've added as a link on my browser, and it always just brings me here because this is where I've got all the links and all the specific data that I want. Now naturally this is a demonstration database, so my work one looks very different and my clients look very different, but it gives you a good idea of what I put in here. So if you use currencies, it's good to just add what is the euro to dollar, what's today's date, a general notes field, and then from here I've got groupings of different types of forms. So event management, I can click on that link, it takes me to immediately creating a new event. I can view all my events, and so the list goes on. I can look at new meetings, all meetings. It's really just as flexible as you want it to be. What is quite unique about this, and I've also added links. So very similar to those, these are links to your company website, your SharePoint portal, anything that you really want. What is unique though is this ability to embed almost unrelated data. So events inside the dashboard, contacts inside the dashboard. You can embed any data inside this dashboard, and I'll show you that trick or workaround. So if we have a look at this dashboard, let's start with the links. So you might have noticed I had a logo at the top there just to brand your pages nicely for your company branding. It always helps to put that up there, although you've got it up at the left. And then let's look at these links. So the links are very simple. It's text, and then you've got a link. Now naturally what you need to do to create a new record is all you need to do is whatever the path is. So if we're going to have a look here, let's say we want to look at events. So the event path is that. So you can literally copy that URL, come in here, paste it in, and all you do at the end is put question mark new. That tells Ragic that this is going to, it wants you to create a new event. So let's save, and then we'll exit this, and let's test that link. So you can see there it goes new. So that is what is critical to add to any of your pages. If you want to look at events, so how did I make that link? All I did was I went to my dashboard, I looked at events, and I copied that URL. You can copy the whole URL, it doesn't matter. I know that this is purely what Ragic looks for. If I can copy that and just test it, that is the base link to view all records. So we'll change that and have a look that it works. Click on the link over here, change that URL, save it. Let's close this window and test our link. So it's very simple and very quick to create your dashboard. Create a bit of styling, group them, similar to external websites. It's just purely a link that you're adding in here. So nothing complicated. Now this is a reference table, so this is where it gets interesting. Here I've got a show reference table from an existing sheet, events and contacts. And the way I did this is, let's actually open one of those records. And there's a field here called fake ID, and it's set to 0. And if we have a look, in actual fact, at our dashboard is just a record. Here you can see the record. And if I unhide that particular field, fake ID, but if it is record ID 0, and that's just a simple text field, and it's defaulting to 0. So you can only really have one dashboard record, but really just remember it is actually just a record. That's how Ragic is linking them. So I've got this record with a fake ID of 0, and then in the events page I've got a fake ID 0. so that we can link them. And what you do is you create it as a link and load from the dashboard. So you're linking it to the dashboard by the fake ID. And because they both have the value 0, it'll pick them up. Now the trick is, how do you make this always be a 0 so that all records are displayed on the dashboard? That's simple. All you need to do is set the default value to 0. So let's take something that we don't have on here. So I want to, for instance, embed customer tickets, for example. Let's go in here. Let's go into the design mode, into the form, and we call this fake ID. Okay. We'll set it to the value of 0. You can apply this to all, so update all of the existing records. Okay, then you change it to select from another sheet. Okay, and sometimes you can see that it's lost its default value, but I'm selecting from dashboard and I want to link it by fake ID. So maybe it's better if you just do this ahead of the time. Don't forget to populate the existing records. Exit, save and exit. Okay, and now let's go and have a look at our dashboard and let's link that. So down here I'm going to add a reference table, and we said it was customers tickets. There it's picked up that they're linked. I can now drop it in, insert table, save and exit. Okay, now some of the records aren't showing up, so let's go and have a look at that support ticket. So a little bit of tweaking that needs to take place. I'm just going to add that fake ID to my form. I can actually see that it's getting its value. And let's go to design mode. Make sure this defaulting to 0. Yes, it is. Sometimes what you need to do is just tell Ragic, okay, fake ID is not set. So let's just go and do a mass update. We're going to say fake ID equals 0. Populate them all. There we go. And just test. If you're doing a new record, does it default to 0? Yes, it does. So you know all future records will fall into that. So let's go back to our dashboard. And now all those records should display. There you go. Same thing with the contact records. So if we go in here, just a reminder again, we've got a fake ID. There it is. And it's looking to the dashboard as link and load, and it has a default value of 0. And I probably also had to manually set that to 0 with a mass update just for the existing records. So this is now very nice. I've got a single dashboard where I can see all of my records. And you can start customizing this as you like. So that's really what the dashboard is all about. It's also a great place for your new users to get to understand all the functionality inside of your organization. Do remember, however, if a user does not have access rights to a certain thing like tickets, and they try and perform that, Ragic is going to tell them you don't have access rights, which is perfect. That's what you want. So that's really the dashboard. And if you are interested in some of the other solutions we've got, go to ragicsolutions.com and go to our videos feed. Here you will see all the different solutions that we've created for the Ragic community. We've got integrations to WhatsApp, we've got integrations into Outlook, Microsoft, iOS, Google. There's all sorts of different integrations that we provided. Most of them are all free, so it really makes Ragic a very powerful business tool. So keep coming back, and thank you, and enjoy the video, and thank you for subscribing.